All right, welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Stern Agee. We mentioned this last week. Jimmy Himes chirped up and said, yep, he's been paying attention. Anybody out there who is looking at college tuition prices, they want to do it like between their fingers, like they're watching a horror movie, because it's kind of scary right now. Bob, I know you've got one on the way that you're praying gets a scholarship.
And I got another one I'm praying graduates.
But you look at private schools right now, it can cost as much as $30,000. Public schools on average in the United States, in-state tuition, $9,000. That's going to go up. So if you're a young family with a young child, or you're about to try and have a family, you want to consider this. Stern Agee can help you not only prepare for the college costs, but they can do it in a way that helps you on the tax front as well. Stern Agee is a group that you need to call and chat with. They can help you reach these decisions and help show you options that you can choose and figure out the best way to protect yourself and prepare for your child's college. Stern Agee does a tremendous job. You'll want to call them, chat with them. All right. No question that schools are going to like the SEC Network revenue once it starts funneling in. Coaches will like the promotional arm that it's going to provide. Steve Spurrier this week, though, wondered aloud about all the access that ESPN was being given. They're running around on practice fields. They were doing it at Tennessee this week. Mac Brown, famously of the Longhorn Network, he hated that thing. He made no bones about it. He was on radio with you this week.
Yeah, on Friday. He talked about having to do 3 different coaches shows a week. And access to team meetings, which he didn't like either. Sure. But he said, hey, they paid $300 million for 20 years. The
question, Mark Richt's saying this year, I'm cutting back on the injury information I give out. Is the SEC going to say, well, you're going to share a little bit more with our guys? I just wonder how many coaches are going to, do you think there are going to be some negatives with this SEC Network thing?
Yes.
Yes.
That's pretty easy.
I do.
All right, think you'll hear some complaints? All right. Let me ask you this. From a local media perspective, ESPN and the SEC Network are going to they're partners. It's a promotional arm. They're not going to do a lot of news breaking over there. They've already said that. But they're going to get more access than the local media. How big of a problem is that going to cause for the local media?
I think eventually it will cause coaches problems because I think the local media gets a little bit resentful over that sort of thing.
Well,
I agree with Bob.
We're used to it. That's the way it is now. ESPN rules your world. It's their world, and you're just living in it. You really want to get a dose of that, go to like the Women's College Softball World Series or something like that really is an ESPN event.
Right.
But yeah, local coverage, we're used to it. Guy from ESPN comes in town, or guy from CBS comes in town, gets all kinds of access that we don't get.
And then when some of those big stories or something comes out that's either news or controversial, there's going to be a problem with it, and there should be.
Oh, with the network, yeah, and it's not like the Big Ten Network spent a lot of time covering the Joe Paterno Penn State, Jerry Sandusky thing, and that's the SEC Network. They say, well, it's a fine line we're going to walk. No, it's not. That is going to be a promotional arm for the SEC. But I see what you're saying. It's going to be embarrassing if there is some sort of big thing and you're not covering it.
And then you got to follow. Or even last night, say the UT football scrimmage was closed to everyone except the SEC Network. How would that have gone over? Even if they're not going to air footage the next day, to me, that's just not right.
All right. Tell you what, we got to catch a break. When we come back, we're going to go off football for a second. Some events in the Debbie Jennings lawsuit against Tennessee. We're going to talk about that. How bad could this lawsuit be for UT from a public relations standpoint if some stuff leaks out? We'll talk about it. Come on back on the Sports Source.